So, in your homework, a few practice problems I would like to work out. Let's just look at question one. It says evaluate 7 with an exclamation point. We now know that 7 with an exclamation point means 7 factorial. We understand that 7 factorial means 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. If I was doing it by hand, I would say it's 42 times 20 times 6. So if I did it by hand, I would say, let's clear this off here. I can go 42 times 20 times 6, and that gives me 5,040. Now, you also could go using your calculator. You could say 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 looks good. Notice how I would get the answer that way. Notice how there's also a shortcut on the TI-84 is I can hit the 7, go to math, go to probability with your directional pad, find that exclamation point, number 4, and that should mean the same thing. So 5,040 would be the answer. So there's a couple ways of doing it. I could do a little bit of math on paper and let the calculator do the rest of it, or let the calculator do all of it. So if I look at question two, if I have 16 factorial over 13 factorial, notice that a fraction we can cancel out like factors. So notice how I can write this as 16 times 15 times 14 times 13 factorial. And 13 factorial kind of means counting on down 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Notice how I'm dividing by 13 factorial. Notice that the 13 factorials would actually divide out. And really, the only math I have to do is 16 times 15 times 14. So if I do 16 times 15 times 14, that will give me 3,360. Now, you could also do 16 factorial over 13 factorial on the calculator. There's a couple ways. One way is just put 16 math probability, put 16 factorial, and then divided by, so I can use my division symbol, divided by 13 factorial, math probability number 4. So I can actually type in 16 factorial divided by 13 factorial into my calculator. Notice it also gives me 3,360. Now, this calculator has the ability to do a fraction as well. So if you like this 16 factorial as a fraction, there's a green F1 up here that has a special menu in it. So since it's green F1, I have to hit the alpha button first, hit the F1. Notice that this first one is a fraction notation, N over D, numerator, denominator. If I choose that one, notice how it gives me a fill in, 16 factorial on the top, 13 factorial on the bottom. So I can type in the 16, go to math, go to probability, choose number 4. Yep, 16 factorial. And then go on the bottom, 13, math, probability, number 4. And I do have it there and hit enter, and I should still get the same thing. So several ways to approach that. To me, you can do a little bit of basic math and just type in 16 times 15 times 14 as well. So if I look at question 5, if I want to evaluate 37 factorial over 35 factorial times 2 factorial, so notice how 37 factorial would be the same thing as 37 times 36 times then 35 factorial. On the bottom, we do have that 35 factorial times this 2 factorial. So one of the things I can do is knock out the 35 factorials. So this now would be 37 times 36. And 2 factorial would be 2 times 1, but 2 times 1 is 2. So you could do the problem in that fashion. So you could say, hey, 37 times 36, and then get that answer, divide that by 2, and that gives me 666. So we get that. Now, notice how I could also just put this in the calculator. Let me make this a little bit bigger. So if I go up here to this F1, if I hit the alpha button and then hit the y equals button, it creates this menu. If I want to create a fraction in over D, I can do that. I could put the 7 factorial in there, 37 math, probability number 4. And then on the bottom, I can put in 35 math, probability 4 times then 2 factorial, 2 math, probability 4. I can type it in and it should still give me the same answer. Okay, so several ways of doing this. So that's just a few. So question 8, I'll pause here and we'll do this on a separate video.